Amazon Prime Day, and last-minute details on Macstock Conference and Expo. This is MacVoices. Today's MacVoices is supported by MacVoices After Dark. Uncensored, off-topic, and always off the wall. MacVoices After Dark is available as a benefit to our Patreon subscribers. Sign up at patreon.com/MacVoices. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, a quick note before the MacVoices Live conversation you're about to hear. This came from our most recent MacVoices Live discussion and concerns not only Amazon Prime Day, which is very timely, but also some last-minute details about Macstock Conference and Expo. And I wanted to make sure this got out while the information was still useful to you. So it's being released a little bit out of order in comparison to some of the earlier MacVoices Live sessions we've done. Don't worry, everything will get released, but because this one was extra timely, I decided to move it up in order. So let's go and let the panel do the talking. Welcome to MacVoices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, MacVoices Live is back. It's Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, whatever time that is, wherever you are. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. We are in the chat room there, and we would love to have you join us. We already have some friends there with us already, and hope with more will log in. We took last week off because of the July 4th holiday and the fact that I was taking a little time off. I came back, and I'm not sure quite how I sound because I came back with a bit of a sinus infection, but what are you going to do? That's vacation, right? So we're going to play catch up on a couple things, have some interesting stories to talk about tonight, but we wanted to do something a little bit different and invite anyone in the chat room to throw any stories in that are on your mind that you'd like to have us comment on or see what our thoughts are. So if you have something that's really burning deep in your mind, pop it in the chat room and see what's going on. We'll try to be entertaining and informative, or at least entertaining. Let's go around the room, find out who's here, and then we'll take it from there. First up, as usual, Mr. David Ginsburg. David, good to see you.
Good to see you as well, Chuck. It's glad to be back here on a Tuesday, having some fun here, talking about stuff. There's been a pretty good amount of stuff going on this past week. Last 2 weeks, I should say. So, looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, me too. Still bacheloring from his basement, Mr. Warren Sklar. Warren, I'm starting to suspect that you're not married.
Yeah, I got some days, Chuck. Some days. I 3 more days of freedom, I think is what I got. But I miss her. It's going to be good. Good to be here. Mark, it's a cool background, but it's freaking me out. After a few minutes, you get like, what's going on there? So I can't look at you. But yeah, it's good. It's good to be here, and yeah, happy to talk.
Great. Well, since Warren mentioned Mark, I'll jump right to Mr. Fuccio. Mark, good to see you. And I wonder why you have Amazon packages in your background today.
Oh, I think Amazon is trying to create a summer holiday called Prime Day. And it's 2 days this year. And I haven't looked to see what the specials are, but I have the background image. But I'll change it to something else, so as not to distract Warren.
Yeah. We definitely don't want to distract Warren.
I'm with Warren. That's pretty disturbing.
Oh, yeah, it does.
It's just the way it comes out of your head. And
well, it looks like those are his arms, right? It looks like go back for a second.
Yeah,
it looked like if you put your arms down, it looks like you're permanently holding up the packages, and that's and then when you show the other 2 hands, then you look like a 4-hand.
Oh, there's another hand there.
Yeah, well, that's a little better, but when you're right in the middle of it, it looks like you're doing this with the packages.
Well, but it also, I guess the hands,
but it also looks like he's some kind of contortionist.
Well, no, he's doing this.
Last but absolutely not least, Mr. Jim Ray is back. Jim, it's good to see you.
It's good to be seen. I have no packages in my background.
No.
But like Mark, now we both have Ukraine.
Ah, yes. So I guess we have to start there a little bit. David and I were talking pre-show, but I did not take advantage of any Prime Day deals. I didn't see anything that really jumped out at me. The only thing that I saw that I thought significant was that the Stream Deck, was on sale for $50 off at $100, which is a pretty good deal. But beyond that, I didn't see anything that jumped out at me.
Well, it didn't jump out for me, but it jumped out the fact that my wife needed a new Apple Watch. She's a Series 4. The battery was bad, so grabbed her one of those for $279. That's like the lowest price it's ever been for a 41 millimeter size to watch. So that's pretty gosh darn good deal. And then I know the Apple TV, for those who are looking for Apple TVs, they were selling them as low as $109. That's like $90 off. So not everybody wants Apple TVs, but
I thought about it, and I'm like,
besides that, yeah, I agree with you. There wasn't anything too exciting that really stood out.
I got a few things. You ready? I don't know if you're around. Yeah.
Okay.
They have the portal from Facebook was normally like $200, and it's $30. So I picked one up for $30, and I hear, if anything, it makes a really good photo frame. If you do use Facebook, it will take your Facebook photos and kind of scroll through them, which is kind of cool. Also,
yeah, but Warren, I'm not picking on you. I'm very serious. You're the first person I've heard that would order a portal, a Facebook video portal? Device.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know other people have it, but I never got one. I read that they're neat, but again, I have no use for it. But for $30, you know, I don't like it. I
guess they're giving it away.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, so Amazon's going crazy with their own devices, right? You could buy every single one of their own devices on sale. So, like, I mean, how many more Echo Dots do I need? How many more Echo Spots do I need? I have so many, so I don't need any more. But
80% off.
Which one? Did you find it?
The Meta portal.
Yeah. I mean, again, $30, and if it bothers you, you could probably cover the camera. But again, for $30 for like it's supposed to be really good for people like older people who want to communicate with their family, because not this one, but they have a few of them. There's one that actually follows you around. It was actually what's Apple call it? Stage motion that it follows you.
Stage Manager.
It was Stage Manager before Stage Manager came out, but it was, I think, motorized, right, Dave? It followed you. It wasn't a camera trick. It was an actual thing that moved with you, so it followed you around, whereas Stage Manager is a camera trick, more or less.
Although you have to wonder if this is not really a Prime deal, because it's $34.99 regular price too. So
what, that thing?
Yeah, that's what it says on Amazon page here.
No, that I haven't seen any Facebook portal ever less than 150. They had 3 models.
You can buy a new and used $34.99. So
yeah. Anyhow, I got that, and I got a USB-C charger from a multi-port charger, because I was working and I realized my tablet was dying, and I panicked. So I went on Amazon Prime and I bought a charger that comes Saturday.
Good. So let's see. A camera device by Facebook that automatically tracks you. What could go wrong? What could go wrong?
I'm telling the right group about this stupid camera that, we all have a million of these cameras watch us in the house and whatever. But yeah, it's a Facebook thing. But again, even if you use it just to flick through your Facebook photo albums, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So we have a special guest joining us any second now, I hope. Special guest, are you there?
John.
Always
hang on.
Special
hang
guest.
on.
Always has those Zoom
I am here, but I'm hardly
There
special.
he is. There he is.
Oh,
There
Mike
he is.
Potter.
The perpetrator of Macstock himself.
I will respond. I respond to strong arm tactics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird. He was on a video I watched today.
Yes, he was.
Indeed.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was there.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Jim. Thanks, Jim. I appreciate you remembering.
I was tied up at the office, so I didn't get to watch. But I wanted to make sure that Mike Potter got here and gave us a quick rundown on Macstock, since by this time next week, I think many of us will be packing to come to Woodstock, Illinois for Macstock.
Quite a few will. Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
hope so.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, Mike, what are the updates? Because I know we're laughing about the fact that Mike did a live stream today, one of his regular live stream updates. And unfortunately, it was at noon, so I was at the office, and Jim apparently was wherever Jim was. So,
Well, you're very kind to call it regular, for one. I appreciate that. In my favor, since the last one I actually did was in April, so it's on a somewhat regular schedule, I suppose.
okay,
Like 3 months.
Okay. Do we have updates, Mike, or is it just pretty much as things have been? Things are going off as planned, and we're going to all get together and have some fun.
Well, that's the priority, right? The priority is to get together and have fun, and that's what Macstock is all about. Yes, there's learning. There's that learning component. I always mention that every time, and we always have fantastic presenters. But getting together and getting to see each other, in some cases for the first time in 3 years, is really what it's all about, isn't it? Yeah. As far as updates, I went through pretty much the last minute updates I send every Macstock. The things I like to remind people of, what to expect when you check in the mornings. Important links to know, what the weather is going to be like. I mean, talking about the live stream, I completely forgot to mention, look, you got to dress for the weather. If you get cold, bring a sweater. If you get warm, dress in layers, because that's just what happens when you're in a conference center and you've got so many people, all these 98.6 degree bodies in a room. It's very hard to regulate that temperature. And I completely forgot to mention, dress in layers or bring a sweater. But the weather looks like it's going to be reasonably good. Who looked it up, Dave? I think it was Brett looked up the longer range forecast.
Mm-hmm.
I had a 10-day forecast, and Brett looked up a little bit longer and said, yeah, it's supposed to be around 90 on Saturday and around 88 or so on Sunday. So as I said,
summer in Chicago.
Typical summer in Chicago weather. We don't have temperate here. We have either unbearably hot or unseasonably cool. And then, maybe some rain or dry weather mixed in between. But I think I even said, Dave can agree. Dave can agree to all of this. That's just summer in Chicago.
It is.
Bring a big suitcase and lots of different types of clothes.
If you have that challenge.
Yeah. But we did have kind of a fun update last week. Martin reached out to me. He's been to every Macstock since 2015. He reached out to me and said that he and Brett Kennedy are going to be in town, and they're going to stay in town. They're going to stay in Chicago through Tuesday, and they're going to 2 Cubs games. They're going to be bleacher bums. They're going to be sitting out there in the bleachers, and they wanted to invite people to come along and join them if they were willing to. So I think that's going to be a good time. Anyone who wants to go along, Cubs games, Wrigley Field, just being in Wrigley Field. Yep. It's such a historic field. I grew up going to Wrigley and Comiskey. Well, there ain't no Comiskey anymore. It's gone. They raised it. So, the classic stadium. What's that?
It's guaranteed rate field.
But, it's kind of like going to the Green Monster in Boston. It's one of those classic fields. And you really feel like you're at a ball game when you go there. Now, it's not an official Macstock activity, but it is something that folks who are coming into town, they're going to be having a great time at Macstock, and they're going to continue that great time on past through Monday and Tuesday. So I thought that was fantastic. And as I mentioned, that was really the main impetus that got me to put out the live stream. I was going to just kind of set it aside. Yeah, we're a week and a half away. Let's just set it aside. Let's just do newsletters. That's what people were telling me. They liked the information in newsletters anyway. But then Brett and Martine came along and said, "Hey, we're going to be doing this thing." I said, let's do a live stream. It'll be fun. And let's see, what else? I also like to tell people about the volunteers, who to look for, who to ask for help when you're there, that kind of stuff.
This edition of MacVoices is supported by our Patreon subscribers and MacVoices After Dark. Ever wonder what happens before the MacVoices live shows? Or what happens when the show ends or after the live feed closes? That's where MacVoices After Dark comes in. If you are a Patreon supporter at any level, you get access to the video of our off-camera conversations. Uncensored, unedited, and always off the wall. It's a small thank you to our Patreon supporters who want to peek behind the curtain. Become a Patreon subscriber at patreon.com/MacVoices. And thanks to everyone who supports the show.
Yeah. Well, how about if we address the elephant in the room before we, just and get it out of the way? What kind of COVID restrictions or guidelines or whatever are you implementing for Macstock? Because unfortunately, it is still a concern that's out there for a lot of folks.
Oh, it's very much a concern. It depends on where you are in the country. It depends on where you are in the world. We're a little fortunate here in Northern Illinois that we're only at our counties are typically only rated medium or low around here. Let's say I think Chicago is bordering a medium high. We're medium here in McHenry County, but the county just south, like literally 5 miles down the road, is rated low. So we're kind of in that range right now. But there are many parts of the country where it's just running rampant right now. And we do have people coming in from all over the place to Macstock, including Martine, who's coming from Europe. So one of the things I implemented early on was a couple health and safety protocols that we haven't let up on. We haven't made them more restrictive, but we haven't let up either. And that involves proof of vaccination and indoor mask requirement for everyone who's going to be at Macstock. It's the best way that we can help protect those who are in attendance, short of not holding it. Short of not holding it again, that's the best way we can protect everybody. And when I did the survey back in January, a lot of people told me that's what they wanted to see, and that's what I implemented. And once you have people sign up who sign up because you put certain health and safety protocols in effect, you can't pull those back. You can't say, oh, well, wear a mask, don't wear a mask, it doesn't matter. And now suddenly I've got a third of the audience who said, well, I was coming because of that. So I didn't really see a window where it made sense to lift up on that. So that's why we still have them in place. And I gave everybody has an out. Everybody had an opportunity to get a refund, exchange their ticket for a gift certificate, which was something folks were asking me for. They wanted to roll over their tickets for another year, and I said, "Well, let me come up with something that works for everybody." And it's Macstock gift certificates, so that they can exchange their pass for a gift certificate and then use it towards a weekend pass purchase for future Macstocks. And then I also have something new I came up with this year, which is called the Community Fund, where those who said, let's just donate it to a good cause. Let's find somebody else who wants or needs a ticket. I wanted to create a somewhat more official way to honor those folks who made those contributions to the Macstock community. So I came up with this Macstock Community Fund. That was the third option. You could get a refund, you could get a gift certificate, you could donate to the community fund. And we have a nice little community sponsored sum of money that we're going to use in the future to help people come to Macstock who might not otherwise be able to afford the full ride. So that's going to be sitting there and not touched and used just for that purpose from this point forward.
Good deal.
So-
Good deal. Yeah, I think people, it's so easy to forget that a lot of the plans that you make have to be made well in advance. And you make commitments, not just to attendees, but also to services, to the facilities. And it's not so easy to just pull back or change the rules just because maybe the environment has changed. As you said, it introduces a lot of different dynamics. So,
Yeah.
The road to Macstock rolls on. I think that by the time,
thank you.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, I think we will have talked to all but 2 or 3 presenters, and I know one of them is out of the country right now. So I'm trying to get him corralled once he gets back. But so I know I'm looking forward to it, and I don't know anybody that is going that isn't looking forward to it. So
Warren's first time too.
First time. Yeah.
Yeah, Warren's
So-
first time. Which day were you coming, Warren? You're coming on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, and I can't find the email that I would have gotten for some kind of receipt. Did I pay you? I bought it, right?
You did. Yeah, you
You
did.
did. Okay.
I can certainly look it up and resend it to you if you want.
All right. So you won't stop me at the door because I don't have anything proving that I bought something at this
You're
point.
on the
I can't find
list.
it. Okay.
You're on the list. Yeah,
He's official.
I purposely created one of my frequently asked questions is, do I have to bring a printed ticket? I mean, everybody gets a PDF, they get the email, they get all that stuff, and I'm like, no, we know who you are.
All right.
You,
If
no, you're fine.
all right. And then also, I'm excited. And the math thing is, I mean, it's the right clientele. Your audience is very mask conscious and friendly, I think. So I think and we're in that age group where it's good. I mean, I think it's fine. And I'm sure it was hard for you to figure out whether to allow it or not, because that's going to be the big thing, right? But I think it's the right choice. And then so I'm flying to Chicago on Thursday night. Friday, I'm not sure what I'm doing. Apartment shopping with my wife on Saturday. So Sunday morning, I'm going to try to get from Inner Loop, Dave?
No, the Loop.
The Loop. The Loop
Downtown.
downtown
Chicago.
So I got to leave 7. I got to leave in the morning. So that's my goal, is trying to figure out the best way to get from A to B. And I have looked into the car rental. So the car rental is $100, and the park overnight at the hotel is another 70. And because the car won't be returned until after closing. So that's $179. And I looked into the train. The train's 2 hours. So
from downtown.
So I don't know. I'm guessing I'm just going to suck it up and rent a car at 7 and pay the 170. But if there was like a faster route, I would pay double that at that point, because you're paying that much already.
I don't know that there is a faster route other than maybe ride sharing. What do you say, Dave? I think train. The problem with the train, and I realized this after the live stream ended, Warren,
they stopped
because you were asking about it.
Yeah, Dave said they stopped
limited hours.
Oh yeah, that's
well. The stopping every stop's not a problem, quite honestly. I mean, I'll tell you.
And they run every 2 hours.
I always purposely took the train that stopped at every stop when I worked downtown and I came home, because it was always less crowded.
Yeah. My wife
was less crowded. I could get the seat I wanted. I could spread out. I could put my computer on the seat next to me and sit there and work and stuff. So I always took the train that stopped at every stop. And I guess I didn't think it was.
Yeah, I went on the website, and basically I mapped it out for that Sunday. And if I left at 7 o'clock, I'm not getting to you guys till 9. Where was it? No. Yeah, so it was 9.
If it's any consolation,
and that's when you start, right? You're starting.
The only thing going on at 9 is me. So if you get there by 9:30, you'll catch the first real presenter.
All right. Yeah. So if I'll probably rent a car. And
so this turned into Warren's Travel Plans podcast.
I was stressing about it today.
Yeah.
I saw the opportunity in front of me of some people that could help me.
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I
I couldn't even remember if I bought the stupid ticket, and now
was
you
gonna say,
got
yeah.
Mike on board, and I'm happy he's here.
Yeah,
So-
Mike, you missed an opportunity there. You could have had a little extra revenue. Just no one. You can buy a ticket.
Warren,
Yeah,
you know.
you get to buy 2 or 3.
Yeah.
No, I absolutely am the kind of person. I've had people purchase a second weekend pass, and I immediately write them back and say, "Guess what? You already had one. Let's get you your money back," and we do it. So I make sure.
Yeah.
He does.
A couple things in the chat room. Brian said that taxi service that was recommended last year was ideal. Specific pickup and drop off days and times both ways to O'Hare. I'm not sure what taxi service he's talking about. Maybe you know, Mike?
Probably Route 47 taxi and transportation.
Okay, Route 47 taxi and transportation.
Yeah,
So
they're good guys. They have clean cars and all that. Now that is what they're referring to is the pickup at the airport. Now, as far as going downtown and picking up Warren and bringing him back, I don't know. It's worth reaching out to him and see.
Well, my question is O'Hare the same distance from O'Hare to Woodstock as Chicago downtown to Woodstock? I don't know how the airport goes from the city.
We could talk offline, Warren, too. I can help.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a question.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's close.
Exactly. If you guys have a good idea, let me reach out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never had any trouble getting like a Lyft or an Uber from the airport, or for that matter, back to the airport. So
Right.
It's pretty accessible. So
Yep.
It's not too late, folks. You can join us on Sunday. You might even see Warren show up, get his autograph.
Right.
Don't know why you would want to, but he'll be there.
It's my NFT.
Hey, look, I'm thrilled to have Warren there. I think that is absolutely awesome. I was so happy to see your ticket order come through. Been watching you with Dave for all this time, and it's great to have you out at Macstock.
My wife agreed to it because she's there for work anyway, so we got the hotel paid for it. And Saturday, the reason I'm not coming Saturday is because she wants me to go apartment shopping because she works in Chicago, and now the COVID restrictions are lifting. She's in Chicago more than before, and it's going to make the balance between hotel costs and an apartment. It's kind of doing that. So we're going to do apartment shopping, and the only day she could do it is Saturday. So
yeah. So you'll get there for Sunday. You'll get there for Sunday.
Be fine.
Mike, what is the cutoff date for tickets? When do you say sorry, can't do anymore, or will there be tickets at the door?
I probably will not do tickets at the door this year. We have done them in the past, but it's just kind of nice to know ahead of time how many folks are going to be there. We do try to build a little, to answer your question, Chuck, we're kind of in that window right now where if a ticket is purchased, I might not have a t-shirt for you on the day of Macstock, on the day you show up. I might have to have it made and ship it to you later. We should have enough food. I always try to make sure there's enough food in there so that, we do have a few people sign on. We're covered, no problem. And we're even covered there anyway, because I'm still finalizing things with the caterer, as I mentioned during the live stream, and they're cool. They're on board. Everything's good. The only real sticky wicket is I might not coffee. We'll address that in a second. We'll address that in a second because that's important to me. Is there going to be coffee?
I got to factor in the time I would need to stop at Starbucks before I came to drive to you guys.
So we should be good. Anyone who buys a ticket between now and, really Friday, but a week from Friday, I should say. But the only issue is I might have to mail you a t-shirt later. I do always try to order extra shirts. So it's very likely that there will be one. And if someone does buy a weekend pass, before you take off at the end of day Sunday, or before Sunday ends, check in at the registration desk and see if we have an extra because someone didn't show up or what have you. And that happens too. But if we have enough, everyone will get one. But that's really the only odd thing. Now, as for coffee, So this is the first year that the conference center, the school, McHenry County College, was not able to accommodate us with catering, and they're even not able to accommodate us with coffee and water and stuff, which,
Wow.
I get, maybe they're listening, maybe they're not. I don't know. I find that strange. Really? You don't have the staffing to get coffee together for people in the morning? Okay, fine.
Vending machines.
Well, they do, but Warren, who wants vending machine coffee? Right? Nobody wants vending machine coffee.
No, I'll be
But-
driving to the nearest Starbucks.
And there's plenty of those around here too. So,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about that. But we are going to try to have some of those boxes of coffee, most likely Dunkin'.
Box of
Could be
Joe.
Starbucks, but we'll probably get those so that we have coffee there. I don't know why anyone would want it, but we'll probably have decaf as well. But
Even
if it were up to me, it would be the Dunkin' Midnight in all the boxes of coffee. It would not be any of this, regular roast stuff or decaf. It would be dark roast all the way. But that's me. So we'll make sure that there's some regular roast and some decaf for those who want it.
That's great.
Yeah.
So Macstock Conference and Expo.com is where you go to get your ticket. Folks, if you don't have a ticket, get it. Well, wait till after the show, but then or open a window beside this one and go to MacstockConferenceExpo.com and join us. Dave's going to be there. I'm going to be there. Warren's going to be there. Jim, you're not coming? Is that correct?
No,
Okay, you're not coming. Jim, excuse me, Mark, you're not coming.
I'm not coming, no.
Okay, so you got 3 out of 5 of us here that are going to be there.
Didn't Jeff say he was coming?
No,
Don't think he's coming.
no, he's not.
Yeah, I think he had a conflict.
Right.
But a lot of the folks you see here on MacVoices Live will be there, and
Kelly?
we'd love to have
I
you
think
join
Kelly's
us.
coming, right?
I think Kelly's coming, supposed to come, I believe. So we will see. But anyway, the point is, join us. We're going to have a ball for this or that weekend, and you will come away learning things, meeting new friends, seeing old friends. Nothing better. Mike,
And,
thanks.
I'll be there too.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that kind of goes without saying.
So we really have 2/3 of us are going to be there.
Yeah, good point.
Wow.
Okay.
I feel like an interloper. I've been invited on this before, and it's the first time I've shown up because I kind of
Well,
Chuck put my arm behind my back and said, "You got to be there tonight." So
Yeah.
I came on, but I really should be on more often. And I've said that to Dave. I think I need to be on there more often. Oh,
Well, you're
Jim.
always-
No, I said it to Jim. I was talking to Jim about that.
yeah, well, you're always welcome. And please stick around for as much of the rest of the show as you can. I know you had some internet issues tonight, which is why we didn't announce anything pre your arrival, because we weren't sure you were going to get it back. But
Don't get me started.
yeah, I'm not going to. So Brett in the chat room says he will be there too. So good. That's Brett. Brian, I'm not sure I think you were there before. I'm not sure you're going to be there or not. So yeah, we have a lot of folks here that are going to be there. So again, Mike, stick around as long as you want. We'll get back to the regular show here, but I want to make sure you got on, especially since the whole question of Macstock and the scheduling is so timely. So,
I will stick around as long as you'll have me. And I'm not really sure how long that is because I realized my Apple Watch was out of charge when I came down here. So it's sitting on the charger upstairs right now.
Well, that means you could stay longer.
There you go.
This Mac Voices live panel is back in the next edition of Mac Voices. Next time, we start off with some unfortunate news about one of my favorites. That's next time on Mac Voices, and I hope you'll join us. Until then, and as always, I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.